Welcome to the first episode of our three-part series on the captivating world of advertising jingles. I'm Devanshu alongside Ushma, and today we'll dive into the melodies that stick in our heads long after the commercial ends. For you, just sit back, relax, and let's get in tune with the history and power of jingles.
विको टर्मरिक नहीं कॉस्मेटिक विको टर्मरिक आयुर्वेदिक क्रीम
विक्स की गोली लो खिच खिच दूर करो
चुभती जलती गर्मी का मौसम आया चुभती जलती घमोरियां लाया आया मौसम ठंडे ठंडे गर्मी कूल का
हर एक फ्रेंड जरूरी होता है हर एक फ्रेंड जरूरी होता है
हर फ्रेंड जरूरी है यार
किचन किंग हो या गरम मसाला पाव भाजी या चंकी चाट मसाला
असली मसाले सच सच MBH
Like the jingles, how many of these could you recognize? Isn't it awe-inspiring that some of these melodies have carried over for generations? These catchy tunes are more than just a snippet of music. It's a jingle and a powerful tool in advertising. But what exactly makes up a jingle? Well, it's a unique blend of melody, lyrics, and branding, all crafted to be memorable and to convey a message in just a few seconds. If a brand can effectively do that, ditto, they've hit bullseyes. Now to delve into the rich history of these catchy tunes, I'll pass the mic to Ushma, who's got some fascinating insights on how these jingles emerged.
Jingles have been used for selling products long before their introduction in the advertising world. Street vendors would shout out rhymes like hot cross buns, some of which have lived on to be a part of nursery rhymes now. The history of jingles dates back to the early 20th century, with some of the first singing commercials airing on the radio in the 1920s. These early jingles have paved the way for a century of sonic branding, introducing the sensory element of hearing into the advertisements. And what has been their impact over almost the last 100 years? Brands have leveraged them to gain headspace in the minds of consumers and increase brand awareness and recall. But one would still question how successful they have been. While there are many stories, let's hear one from Devanshu.
Okay, great. So, who do you think would be the market leader in India in the detergent market? An educated guess would perhaps hint towards these FMCG giants like Hindustan Unilever Limited and P&Gs of the day. But that's not it. It's Nirma, with a staggering market share of 38%, leading the category in India. Can you believe it? Well, at least we were surprised. In order to understand this, we'll have to rewind just a little bit to the 1970s, where a homemade washing powder named Nirma washed away its competition, not with a splash, but with a jingle.
वॉशिंग पाउडर निर्मा वॉशिंग पाउडर निर्मा दूध से सफेदी निर्मा से आए रंगीन कपड़ा भी खिल खिल जाए निर्मा ने बांधा सामान वॉशिंग पाउडर निर्मा निर्मा
I would bet that you'd recall the jingle that you just heard. I mean, we have been hearing this for the past 20-25 years. The brand Nirma, created by Karsanbhai Patel, hit the market at a price that made waves, costing just a fraction of its main competitor Serve, the brand name of detergent of Hindustan Liver Limited, or HLL, called at that time. But how did a simple product in a transparent bag become a household name? The answer was a jingle that stuck in every ear. Washing powder Nirma. A tune that you just heard, a tune that echoed in millions of homes, telling a story of cleanliness and affordability without saying a word about its low price. Of course, price and their penetration into the rural consumers as their primary target group was also a key to its success, but its ad helped amass brand awareness and recall, making it a household name. Nirma's ad was a portrait of everyday life, relatable and real. No frills, just the promise of doodh si safedi, meaning milk-like whiteness, delivered through a tune that even today brings a smile to faces and a nod of recognition. This jingle didn't just sell a product, it became a cultural touchstone. proving that sometimes simplicity sings the loudest. But Ushma, why do you think jingles like this Nirma or MDH or Hamara Bajaj for that matter actually work in advertising?
Well, it is a mix of psychology and a framework that leverages the power of music to create emotional connections. As we have seen with the forgettable Nirma jingle, music has a profound impact on our lives. But did you know that its influence runs even deeper into the very wiring of our brains? Studies have shown that music isn't just a feast for ears, it's a full blown workout for the brain, activating nearly every region and network. It strengthens the pathways that ignite our well being, learning, cognitive functions, and happiness. Oliver Sacks, in his book Musicophilia, delves into the power of music. He paints a picture of music as a force that can shape our brains, touch our hearts, and even unlock memories long believed lost. Consider this: people with Alzheimer's and dementia, who may no longer recall names or faces, can often still respond to music. An old song, a familiar melody. It can cut through the fog of forgotten language and bring back moments of clarity and joy. It's as if these tunes hold keys to rooms in our minds that might otherwise remain closed. The right jingle can make a brand unforgettable and often evokes nostalgia, bringing us back to the first time we heard it. The link between music and advertising is undeniable. Music affects our moods and emotions, and advertisers have harnessed this power to anchor their products in our minds. Before we wrap up, let's not forget the impact of jingles on brand identity. A great jingle is a voice of the brand that can echo through generations. As for the evolution of jingles, they have come a long way from simple tunes to complex musical pieces that can go viral on social media. And where is it headed? Well, you will have to stay tuned to find out. As we close today's episode, think about the jingles that have stuck with you over the years. In our next episode, we will try to understand and explore why are we not seeing much of the jingles anymore. After all, why are they disappearing from advertisements? Is it a cultural shift or something else? Until then, keep humming your favorite ads and remember, a jingle a day keeps the silence away.